Hey everybody, it's Chris Bumbray here again from Joblo.com with another video movie review. And this week we're live from the Toronto International Film Festival for the world premiere of The Equalizer starring Denzel Washington. Now, does anybody remember the old TV show? As far as classic TV series to movie adaptations go, The Equalizer is at the very top of the heap next to something like The Untouchables. Denzel Washington stars as former special operative Robert McCall, who's left his old life behind and reinvented himself as the meek manager of a Home Depot-style store in Boston. When a young prostitute he befriends is brutally beaten by her Russian pimp, McCall finds himself drawn into a brutal war with the entirety of the Boston underworld. Little do they know, McCall is more than a match for anyone who gets in his way. On the outset, The Equalizer doesn't seem like too much of a stretch for Washington, now does it? Sure enough, he's cast to absolute perfection, but director Antoine Fuqua and screenwriter Richard Wenk have gone the extra mile to make McCall more than just your average run-of-the-mill action hero. While the trend these days is for heroes to be dark and broody, Washington plays McCall as a warm-hearted guy with a soft spot for the downtrodden. And hey, if bad guys have to die so the innocent can be protected, well, that's just tough. One thing worth noting is that The Equalizer is definitely the hardest mainstream action film to hit theaters in a long time, probably at least since Antoine Fuqua's own Olympus Has Fallen. While it definitely has more heart and is more character-driven than your typical actioner, when it does hit, the action is absolutely hard and heavy. There are no CGI squibs here, folks. In a departure from his other roles, Denzel Washington's method of dispatching baddies is deliberately low-tech. He barely even uses a gun. Rather, he just uses whatever's handy, which makes his hardware store job seem awfully convenient, now doesn't it? Many of the fights are done hand-to-hand with this probably the most physically taxing action role of Washington's career, with some brutal bouts including a showstopper where Denzel and a baddie battle with pieces of broken glass. Washington is absolutely spot on in this, with him giving the part more warmth and intelligence than is typical for the genre. If anything, he's too good in that the dozens of baddies he dispatches feel like no match for him, and that includes main baddie Martin Zakis, who nonetheless is very effective as a sadistic mob enforcer. Chloë Grace Moretz is due special credit for her part as the young call girl McCall helps out, and her chemistry with the fatherly Washington is super. In the end, this is a really top-notch action film and the best American one I've seen so far this year. Hopefully this will be the start of a whole new franchise for Washington, with this reportedly being one of the highest testing movies in Sony history, so that seems pretty likely. For me, this is a strong 9 on 10. Until next time, this is Chris Bumber reporting live for Joblo.com, straight from the Toronto International Film Fest.